What's up, my friends? Welcome to Chaos Live, my fun live stream where I get to hang out with all of you awesome, amazing, fantastic, beautiful people for a little Q&A fun hangout time. I'm Christopher Chaos, in case you didn't know. Thanks for coming to hang out. If you guys have questions, just drop them in the live chat right over there. I do my best to try to get to as many of them as I can, but often I get behind in the chat and it gets pretty accumulated and I have to skip through some. So if I do have to skip over your question, well then ask it again. That's fine. Make sure you're paying attention too. Don't just like leave and then come back and ask it again and maybe I answered it, but pay attention, you know, and then if I still miss your question, hit me up on Instagram. I have a link down in the description box down below. You hit me up, shoot me a message. I'll reply to you within less than a week, maybe even a day. It just kind of depends on how busy I am. Let's see who do we have in the chat right away. We had Jesse U, Crazy Warrior Cat Fan, Helly Lover, we got Josh, we have VGMR, one of our Chaos Army Commanders, which I forgot to check to see if there's been any updates to the Chaos Army Commanders down below, so apologize if there was and I missed it. Maybe we'll check it here in a minute just to make sure, because I don't want to leave anybody out if they bumped up their memberships. We got, what else we got? We got Edward, we got M1A1 Abrams, American Maker, Marcus, EJ, Johnny, we got Josh, or I said Josh earlier, Johnny, Yuki, Jaden, Ethan, Badge, Timothy, Owen, Small Man, Paul, Michael, another Michael, Alexander though, Wretched, all sorts of awesome individuals. There was, where was it at? I saw earlier a buddy, P. Will. What's up, man? Hopefully you're doing well if you're still in here. Hopefully all's going well for you, man. Miss you creating content though, gotta say. All right, so let's dive into some questions here. There was, where was it at? There's somebody asking about something that I was gonna go ahead and mention. Where was it at? Here we go. Josh asking a question. This will show how long it's been since I've regularly watched the streams. What happened to Modern Warfare Mondays? Couple of things. One, Modern Warfare has these ridiculously stupid updates, like so damn often. Like I don't play like daily. I play when I was playing, it was pretty much just Mondays and that was it. And it felt like maybe every Monday or every other Monday, there was always some giant ass update that would take forever. And I got sick of it. So I got tired of downloading the dumb updates that would take like forever because it'd be like 70 gigs each time. So that was annoying. And then two, not a whole lot of people would turn out usually for the Modern Warfare Monday things. I thought about doing it more on the Discord channel, but that even didn't work out too well. For the most part, not a lot of people were interested in watching me play games and do a shitty job at playing games. Maybe if I was a better game player, maybe you'd be more interested in coming and watch me, but I suck at games, guys. At least first-person shooter games. I mean, maybe certain other games maybe I'm a little bit better at. I don't know. I'm not a great gamer. All right, let's see what questions we got. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let's see. Shipping out tomorrow. Staying up all night so I can sleep the whole flight to Georgia. Just make sure you get good rest. You definitely don't want to show up there and be exhausted. Sometimes, you know, as soon as you show up, you're gonna start doing stuff. Even if that means you show up at midnight, you're gonna be doing some stuff at midnight. So whatever you do, just make sure that you're well rested. I would say it's probably not that big of a deal if you probably get some good rest and then still sleep on the flight. Then it'd probably be the most sleep you'll get in a long time. So maybe take advantage of that. I don't know. I guess personal preference though. Love the intro. I love the intro too. What do we got here? Heads up for any personnel on assignment to Fort Hood, Texas. They renamed a lot of streets leading up to the 100th birthday of Cav Weekend, and then they're also in the process of renaming the post. We'll see how that turns out. And I know I saw that they were doing this whole poll thing where people can like vote on it and try to like decide who it's gonna be, but yeah, or what the name is gonna be. We'll see how that works out. Scroll down. Talking about Call of Duty. What's up, the Angry Contractor? How's it going? What's up, Tiffany Sanchez? What's up, Jay the Vorn? What's going on? Grant, how's it going? Can you explain the MP, military, police, and the rank structure? Well, the rank structure is exactly the same. Rank, it doesn't matter what your MOS is, rank's the same. And then can I explain MP? I have a video on that. If you want to check that out. If you look in the playlist for MOS Monday, or for MOS Monday, there's a playlist on my main channel that's got all the MOS videos on there. And there's a military police officer MOS Monday episode that's on there. What's up, Evie? How's it going? How do you read military time? Well, basically just continuous counting. So you go from, midnight is basically 0 hours, but a lot of people still refer to it as midnight, and it's kind of tricky. But 1 in the morning is still 01, and then all the way up to noon, which is still 12. But then instead of 1 in the afternoon, it's 1300, and then it keeps on going all the way up from there. So that's how you go off of it. So the PM times are the 1300 and up. Good exercise that can build upper body strength. Push-ups for sure. I would recommend push-ups, military presses. There's probably a lot of things you can probably do, but the easy ones that you don't really require like a gym membership or require workout material or whatever. Push-ups. You can do just regular old military presses with something around the house, to kind of work those arms like that and kind of work your way that way. And there's probably a bunch of other ones too. I'm not a great physical trainer kind of person, but those are probably some. More Modern Warfare stuff. You guys are on Modern Warfare kick right now. Do we need 103 on the ASVAB to attend Ranger School, or is it only to be a Ranger regiment? I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't remember what the requirements are for Ranger School. If that's what I said in like that Ranger video, then maybe for like going to RASP. But for Ranger School, a little bit different. I don't know really. I'm not 100% sure if I mentioned it in that video what the requirements were for Ranger School. I'm sure there's something. I just don't know what they are off the top of my head. What's up, Erica? How's it going? Now I want to watch Modern Warfare Monday even more. I moved my PlayStation. My PlayStation isn't even in my office anymore. I moved it out of the office because I wasn't really using it that much, and I moved it into the bedroom. So occasionally I'll like lay in bed and play a video game here and there. Like earlier today, I was playing Fallout 4. But yeah, I don't really play all that often. If you need a job with a security clearance, do you need to have that done prior to shipping out, or do they do that in basic? Yeah, you'll kind of do that in the process. You'll kind of start filling out the paperwork if your job requires it, and then they'll go through the process of trying to get you the security clearance. They'll do a basic background check usually to see if there's any big red flags, and then from there, if they just let you go ahead and continue. If it ends up being a situation where you don't qualify for a security clearance, you're going to go through. I don't know what they end up doing. Maybe they reclass you. That probably sucks. But usually prior to you starting your AIT, usually the process is done by then. So Recruiter would probably give you a better answer on that. That's the way I believe it's done. I've never had to go through that process that way because I got my security clearance after I was already in the Army. It wasn't needed when I first got in the Army, so it was a little bit different. Super chat! VGMR with a super chat. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. It's okay, Chris. I still roll your squad tag when I win games. Well, good deal. Appreciate you. Nobody probably knows what the hell that squad tag even means or anything. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? But yeah, good deal. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever bring it back or not. If I did, I probably need to do it on a PC. But just the constant amount of updates just drives me nuts. If they would do it where they didn't have so many updates, I'm sure that maybe they're adding some cool quality content for it, but 70 gigs worth of content, I don't really know if that's really worth it. So that's the only thing that really drives me nuts. I'm just tired of always having an update. Like, I haven't updated the game in like forever, so there's probably like a billion updates that I've missed in the span of like 6 months or whatever. They've probably already done like a billion updates probably because they've done one every Monday, or I don't know. That's of course exaggerating, but still. All right, come backwards in the chat. If you go into basic training at E3, how likely is it you'll rank up to E4, E5 before it's over? Definitely not E5, for sure. E4, you still need 2 years in the Army to be able to get it, so you're probably not going to be able to rank up to E4 in basic training. You're going to have to wait until you get your unit, because the minimum requirement for you to get up to E4, I think off the top of my head, is 2 years in the Army. So yeah, you're going to have to wait until you've been in the Army for 2 years. And then definitely, even if you came in the Army as an E4, you're not going to be able to make E5 in basic training, because that requires you going to the promotion board plus being in the Army for at least 2 years again. And basic training AIT is not going to send you to the promotion board. So you're not. Hey Chris, as a future foreigner who's going to join the U.S. Army in the future, what do you recommend I should and shouldn't take in my backpack? Any advice? What, like into the Army? I mean, if you're if you're coming from, like, he says future foreigner, like you're coming from another country. I mean, I don't know what you should bring from another country, but bring it to basic. I would find out what the packing list is for your basic training and go off of that. I'm not 100% sure what you're fully trying to find out about, but yeah. Let's see. Did I skip too far? Because I've probably missed a bunch of people's questions. Again, if you have stuff you want to ask, you can always re-ask it again. Are you still in the Army? No. I work for the Army or with the Army. Can you make a video on overseas pay based on duty station? I'm re-enlisting soon. That'd be very difficult, because there's so many locations. That'd be so much. I mean, I probably could, probably not in the meantime, probably not anytime too soon. But different places have like COLA, and then the COLA rates change. I don't know. Maybe it could be possibly be a thing for the future. It'd be kind of difficult though, I'd imagine though. Thanks, Erica. 88 mic or 19 kilo if you had to choose one? Probably 88 mic. I don't want to be inside of a tank. Sorry, Gunrunner, if Gunrunner's in here. He's a tanker. Hello, I ship out 12 October for reception and start basic October 18th. From October 18th to 18th December is 9 weeks, which we might go for Exodus leave. Will they let us finish basic training, or we come back for graduation? They'll probably, well, if you're going to graduate on December 9th, or no, on, what was it, the 18th of December? They might try to do it beforehand. I don't know what they would end up trying to do. I'm sure they're probably going to try to work something. I guess it really depends, though. It might end up being a thing where you get to go home on Exodus and then have to come back for finishing things up, because things might not even go that smoothly. You might get stuck in like quarantine because like your roommate tested positive for COVID or something crazy, and that kind of throws things off. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors in there that can throw that off to make it to where you will have to come back afterwards, or maybe you just finish up beforehand and then off to AIT when you get done with Exodus. Wondering what time of year I should go to basic. I'm a senior in high school and want to go in December to avoid the heat. What would you recommend? I guess it depends on you, right? Do you have a better tolerance for heat or a better tolerance for cold? If you have a better tolerance for cold, then yeah, maybe you should go for the winter months and freeze your ass off. Otherwise, you might be sweating your ass off. So either way, I guess it depends on which you prefer, to freeze your ass off or sweat your ass off. Up to you. I mean, you're still gonna sweat regardless, even if it's cold. But all right, I was just hitting a couple of ones that I saw that were good ones. Chris, what do you think about Taliban using Black Hawk helicopters? It sucks. I don't see it lasting for too long, because Army equipment doesn't last very long if you don't maintain it very well. I mean, even sometimes when you do maintain it pretty well, still doesn't last very long, and I don't think they have the knowledge or the assets to be able to maintain it, so eventually that stuff's going to start breaking down, and they're going to start having problems to where it's not going to work anymore. How long that might take, I don't really know, but that was pretty much what I see happening. Hey Chris, does the MP station have a chief? They probably have someone who's in charge. I don't know what they would classify it as or what the rank of the person is. It might be an officer. I don't know how exactly that works too well. But yeah, they have someone that's in charge. Just what the rank of the person is and all that stuff, I don't really know. I missed MOS Monday. Good times. Feels like yesterday was uploaded for the first time. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done MOS Monday. I might at some point in time still go back to doing some MOS Monday stuff, but not as regularly as I used to be doing, mainly just because I've already hit on a lot of the really big ones that people want to know about. P. Will getting out and changing careers, but I still love keeping up with your channel, bro. Entertaining. I still learn something new from your channel every week. Really appreciate your work you put into it. Well, thanks, man. Hopefully all goes well with you in whatever adventures you're off to do. Still have questions on military scams? It's easy. If you think it's a scam, it probably is. Because so far, 100% of the people that have hit me up because they think they're talking to a scammer has been a scammer. Guaranteed. Guaranteed it's probably a scammer. If you, for some reason, were to hit me up and shoot me some messages and it turns out to be this real person, you would be the first out of I don't know how many people to be a real person that's not a scammer. So far, 100% of the people that have contacted me with questions because they're suspicious of the person being a scammer, because they are a scammer and they're not really in the military. If they want money, they want gift cards, they want you to give them their address, they say they love you, they say they can't video chat. I have several videos on it. If you go to my website, there's a link that says, Stop the Scam? So visit that link on my website, ChristopherChaos.com. There is a link down in the description box of my website. Go there, gives you all the details, and if you really need more details than that, then I have a little service that I kind of started offering for some people that needs more than already the ton of information that I give out. But usually it's pretty easy to figure out. If you're suspicious, it's not worth it, and it's probably a scam. So that's the best thing to go off of. By the way, we got here Chaos Cups. I think they're available through Teespring. I need to put them on my website to make it easier for people to find them. But Chaos Cup, enjoy a nice, awesome beverage of your choice inside of a Chaos Cup. What are you asking about, Edward? Here, have you ever been to any malls? Because I went to a mall called Galleria in Houston, and it was a blast. Amazing. Yes, been to a mall. It's a strange question. Was at a mall yesterday, I guess. Hey Chris, do you work out? If so, what is your bench strength? Somewhere between 600 and 700 pounds. Something like that, not super amazing, I'm trying to get up to 1,000 pounds bench, but got a little bit more work to do before I get there. You know how it goes. No, my workout stuff usually involves like treadmill stuff, hiking, road marching, a little bit of weight stuff here and there, but not usually very heavy weight stuff. Most of my stuff is usually more cardio based that I like to do for workouts. I'm not really that interested in strength building. I'm really more interested in stamina building and cardio building and those kind of things. So that's usually what I mainly do. But I haven't really been too into it lately. A little bit of heads up, by the way, guys. I'm thinking about on Veterans Day, November 11th, if you're in the Colorado Springs area or can easily get to the Colorado Springs area. Not too sure yet, but I kind of want to do a little Veterans Day road march. It'd probably just be like a 5-6 mile road march, nothing too crazy. But that's in the works right now. I'm thinking about it. But if you're in the area, keep an eye out, and I'll announce it, and maybe we'll do something. So. When exactly would I be able to raise my scores? Would I have to wait until I finish infantry school? Raise your scores for what? What are you raising scores for? The question I missed earlier. For your ASVAB. You could do it in the Army. They have like these, what are they called? GT improvement classes, and they have other names for them. So you could improve your scores through that. And there's ways to do so when you're actually at your unit to go through these little classes and try to improve your scores and then try to get things like you want to get. So yeah, you could do that once you get to like your first unit. What was it like in Bishop, California before I moved to Colorado Springs? Well, that was a long time ago, so I don't really remember. It was before the Army, because I was in Bishop before I joined the Army. Then I went off to other places. I'm an E3 in Navy JROTC, so would the rank transfer over when I joined the Army? No. You get credit for doing that, but your rank in Junior ROTC, Navy ROTC, whatever, does not transfer over. No, that'd be horrible. They do have things like where if you did 4 years of ROTC, then maybe they will let you come in as an E3. But that still depends on slots sometimes too. Sometimes it depends on some other factors. They might only give you E2. Sometimes it just depends. Less than 4 years, then it kind of varies, and maybe you only get E2 when you come in the Army. So it depends on how many years of JROTC you do and availability. But the highest you could possibly go would be E3. But yeah, if you go through Navy JROTC and you get to like E5, E6 or whatever, no, that does not transfer over. Personally, I think the ACFT is harder personally than the ASVAB. Oh, the ACT. What's the ACT? It may be a different for others. The ASVAB is like 12th grade level test. And ACT is like college senior level. And like the ASVAB isn't necessarily designed to be like how college is, right? It's more for like basic knowledge. It's trying to make sure you have a basic understanding of things to then place you into a job that you qualify for. There's other things that are a bit tougher than college, right? So yeah, the test itself may not be harder, but a lot of requirements, I've talked about this before in a video, a lot of the requirements to get into the Army are tougher than college. So while a test to get into college might be tougher than the Army's ASVAB or the military's ASVAB, in college, you can do drugs and they don't care. You can be in a wheelchair and they don't care. They don't care if you're 500 pounds or 80 pounds. They don't care. So they don't care about that kind of stuff. But the Army does. The military does. So even though the test may be harder, a lot of other things make it harder for people to join the military other than the test. The test is really just a baseline to make sure you have general kind of education, not necessarily trying to make sure because you're not going to have to really do a whole lot depending on your MOS. So that's a lot of it too. It was a super chat sticker from Robbie. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. There's no message with it, so there's nothing I can highlight. Let's see, where did I leave off at? Let's see, scroll down a little bit. Just try to get more than 4 hours of sleep. Don't stress it, and tell yourself you're gonna fail it, and maybe that mistake, yeah, that would suck. Sweating in the snow is worse. I don't know. I mean, I have a better tolerance for heat than I do the cold. I hate the cold. It's horrible. Did y'all see Anti-Drone Specialist becoming a dedicated MOS in the 14 series one day? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, right now they're already talking about how they are trying to do some basic training kind of stuff, or not really basic training, but some like general education for all soldiers for how to do anti-drone stuff. So that's already kind of been a thing for all soldiers. I don't know if they'll actually dedicate a whole MOS to it, because they're probably trying to make it to where everyone has some understanding and capability of doing some anti-drone stuff. Of course, you see Taliban using M4s for a while before they get ruined by the environment. Possibly, and they might just switch to AK-47s. AK-47s like work great when they're dirty. M4s not so well. I mean, so it's possible. And I think the harder thing might be switching away from M4s, because they're eventually going to run out of like 5.56, and it might be easier for them to get 7.62 for ammunition. Maybe, I don't know though. Shipping to Fort Leonard Wood on Tuesday, and tips on the training or wedding there. Is a wedding? What's the wedding? I mean, if you're looking for tips, just make sure, don't go in there thinking it's going to be super easy. Just expect it to suck, and if it turns out to be not as bad as you thought it was going to be, then awesome. By the way, guys, we have a like goal we're trying to get to. 100 likes. What are we at right now? We're only at 39 likes, but trying to get to 100 likes before the end of the stream. Take a look down below. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up button. do your job of being an awesome patriot and liking the video, something along those lines. Otherwise, I have to take you out back and smoke you. So just make sure that make sure you hit that like button, okay? I don't want to have to smoke you. Oh, when you go to OSIT, do you have a basic graduation, or is that after basic and AIT completion? I don't think they do. I don't know for sure. I think they just do a graduation at the very end. If Gunrunner was in here, he could probably tell you, because he did, I don't think he's in here, but he did OSIT for 19 Kilo. And I don't know if they had like a basic graduation, and then they, when they got done with everything, did a graduation. I think they just do a graduation at the very end. I think that's it. How much gear do soldiers wear now in the military, and possibly by 2025 and 2026? I mean, how much do they wear? I mean, usually in a combat area, you have sometimes knee pads and elbow pads. That just depends sometimes. You got the vest, you got the helmet. On the vest has got your ammo, carry your weapon, eye protection on, sometimes gloves. I don't know what the future will hold, but what do you think of big companies starting to offer tuition, since some people join the military for school tuition? I think a lot of the companies are often offering tuition right now because of the whole COVID stuff, and they're having a hard time getting employees. I don't think it's necessarily because the military does it. I think it's because they're trying to give people incentives to come back to work, where some people don't want to take the chances, some people don't want to work, whatever, because they have a lot of tax incentives for not working. So I think I mean, it could be wrong, but I feel like they're trying to do all this tuition stuff because they're trying to get people to come back to work because of COVID and stuff. After checking out when the approximate date I'll graduate basic, it falls pretty close to holiday block leave time. What happens if you're right about to graduate? Do we take it and graduate as I return? Maybe. I mean, usually they're not going to have you be there during Christmas, so that's going to be a thing. And so how close up to Christmas they're going to take you, I don't know. Christmas is on a Saturday this year. So, I mean, they're probably going to only take you up to, at the most, maybe up to Thursday of that week, which is like the 23rd. I don't think they're going to go past the 23rd. If they need you to do other stuff after that, you're probably coming back then. And you're coming back and doing it then. What's up, TFR60? How's it going? Evie says, oh my god, I gotta have one of those cups in my, and then I can't tell with the, it doesn't show me like the emoji stuff inside of here. Glass of milk, something like that. It says glass of milk. I'll probably post the cups up on the website soon. Thoughts on a 19 Delta? Seems like a cool MOS. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it, but I know a lot of people that love being scouts, and they said that it was great, and they enjoy being a scout. So, you know, if that's the kind of MOS you're looking for, you want to be in Bradleys or Strikers and do recon, then hey, it might be the MOS for you. I want to join to have benefits and shoot guns and wear the gear and feel motivated all the time. Okay. I mean, you can. That works. If you could describe Carson in one word, it would be one-way streets. I mean, there are a lot of them. Some of them make it easier on traffic, though. Because there's some areas I remember that weren't one-way streets that are one-way streets now. God, it was a nightmare trying to get out of there, trying to make a left-hand turn or something like that. So there's certain areas, because there's so much traffic, especially like near the barracks and everything like that, where you had to do one-way streets. Because if you didn't, then you need to just put lights in, and then now you have a shit ton of lights. So it's either one-way streets or a bunch of lights. But I don't feel like it's that big of a deal, right? There's a lot of one-way streets to make it easier on traffic. Otherwise, you would have backed up traffic with people trying to make a left-hand turn, and there's just so many people, especially like right after PT. That was usually like the busy time, like right when it comes around 7:30, around 1300, people come back from lunch, and it would just be impossible to try to get out there, you know, into certain, you know, to make a left-hand turn or something like that in certain areas, because it was two ways, and it was like, this is ridiculous, and there's no light there. So I feel it's necessary. I mean, Sometimes it may be an inconvenience, but the alternative would be probably a lot of traffic because of the busyness and maybe the stoplights they'd have to put in. When you were in basic, what was the first thing someone tried to sneak from the snack bar? Crackers. I mean, just food in general usually. It wasn't usually anything too specific. People would just try to sneak food in general, and crackers were pretty easy to do because they would have it right there at the stand, so you can grab a handful of them, throw them in your pocket, and it was easy to kind of do. So crackers was pretty common. I remember people sneaking crackers back into the barracks to have something to snack on sometimes. This is my wife's channel, but we ride our bikes places. You should try that if you like cardio. I do have a mountain bike. I just haven't really used it in a long time. But I do have a mountain bike. Hey Chris, some recruiters visited my school not too long ago, but I didn't talk to them because I'm in my 3rd year of high school. Did I make a mistake on not talking to them, or should I wait till senior year? I mean, really, junior, senior year is probably fine. I mean, it's not going to probably screw you over if you didn't talk to them. I mean, you probably could still talk to them now. You don't have to wait for them to come to your school. You could probably go and, go visit a recruiter office and like ask questions and talk to them. That still doesn't hurt. You could probably still do that still. But I don't, the only kind of thing that would probably be important to do it now would be if you're trying to do like split ops, where you're trying to do the whole thing where you go off to basic during your during the summertime between your junior and senior year. Then yeah, you probably want to talk to them now. But if you're not trying to do that, it probably really doesn't matter that much. But it doesn't hurt to try to talk to them now. You can still visit a local recruiter station. How far behind am I? I'm gonna skip. Sorry, I'm skipping through some of your guys' chats because I'm kind of far behind. So I'm gonna try to get caught up a little bit. If I do jump past your question, then make sure you ask it again or hit me up on Instagram, whichever. What I think about the Marines? They're all right. I'm fine. I don't have any problems with the Marines. Why are most basic training locations on the East Coast? Always wondered that. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. I'm not too sure why those locations have been picked. If it's because they're on the East Coast, or if that's just a coincidence of their location being on the East Coast. Maybe it's because more of the ones on the West Coast aren't good for doing that kind of stuff. Because Fort Huachuca is really small, so it'd be too hard for them to handle basic training. Fort Irwin is designated for desert training, so you wouldn't be able to really do that. Else you have like on that area. Maybe I don't know. Remember what is the one in Washington, Fort Lewis or whatever? I don't know how big Fort Lewis is. So it might just happen to be the size of the installation and what their jobs already are, that it makes it too hard for you to do basic at those locations. So they're all just happen to be in those locations because those are larger installations that are not already really busy with other missions. I don't know. Wonder if you will do lots of hand-to-hand combat on the battlefield in combat. Most likely not. If you do, then that's a bad day. So you're hoping you don't have to. Yeah, super chat. I haven't seen it pop up yet though in the chat. I know the lights are going crazy. There we go. Got a super chat. The second chips guy. Is that what it is? Thank you. Super chat. Advice for people 30 and over thinking about joining the army. One, I would say just be prepared for jokes about you being old, even though 30 isn't old, but that's what soldiers that are like 18, 19 are going to say about you, because you're, that much older than them. So they're going to be like, oh, grandpa over here can't keep up or whatever. So make sure you don't give them that reason. So make sure you're in great shape so that way you can outshine those 18, 19-year-olds, and they'll be jealous that you're 30 years old and beating them in push-ups and runs and all sorts of stuff. So get into great shape, stay motivated. It may be difficult to have individuals, you're going to be graduating basic training. Maybe you're 31 by then and going to your unit and everything. And you're going to have probably people that are like 25, 26 in charge of you that are younger than you. So don't let that discourage you. Just work hard, push for your dreams and your goals, and hopefully everything goes well. Good luck to you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Let's see. Fort Polk has great bass fishing. Does Fort Polk really have anything good about it? I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. I've never been there. I've just always heard a ton of horror stories from people saying that they just hated Fort Polk so much. What is the worst Army base to be at? The best? Of course, this is personal opinion, but just curious. I did a video on it, and some of it's not necessarily personal opinion. It was more based on statistics of what most soldiers say. And some people disagree with it, which is fine. You can, the worst duty assignment could be your favorite duty assignment. It really just depends sometimes. But the majority of people hated these duty assignments, and the majority of people loved these duty assignments. So I have videos on like the five best duty assignments and the worst ones. The best one was Germany. During COVID, it makes that a little bit tough because a lot of things that people love about Germany is being able to travel, easily to all these great locations. There's a lot of COVID restrictions, so that makes that a little bit hard to do right now. And then worst, I think I have on there is Fort Polk. But there are people that love Louisiana, love the area, so it may be the best to them. But the majority, if people were to take a vote in the Army, the majority of people probably hate Fort Polk. So it's just how it goes. But it's okay for you to love Fort Polk. It's up to you. Personal opinion, right? What unit were you in at Fort Carson? I'm in 3rd Brigade. I was in 30th CR before they went to Texas. And then when they went to Texas, I stayed in Fort Carson, and then I was in 3rd Brigade. I was in 410 Cav. So I was in, I was in 410. And then currently, if you come through to do a JCR JBCP class, I might be your instructor. So tell your leadership you want to go to a JBCP class or JCR, depending on which. You're in 3rd Brigade. I think 3rd Brigade is 3rd Brigade on JBCPs. So I work in the Mission Training Complex on Fort Carson. Training soldiers. Same thing with Fort Hood with the one-ways. I think it's a lot of military installations kind of do this just because there's certain times of the day that are just really busy with traffic. After PT, after lunch, and then towards the end of the day. And also in the morning too, before PT. So if you don't have one-ways, there's just a ton of traffic during those time frames. And if you don't do that, you end up with all these, worse than it already is sometimes during those time frames. And so you have to kind of do one-ways just to kind of help the flow of traffic a little bit better. Let's see. Oh, it was a cliffhanger. Chris, what do you think about? And then it just kind of ends. Now I don't know. What do I think about? Is that what the question was in general? Like, what do I think about? Think about like how awesome it would be if I was a full-time YouTuber. If I was rich, maybe. How much cooler content I could create if I had a lot of money. Because I still would create content on YouTube. I would just have a much, much better budget to be able to do so. Describe MOS in the simplest way you can. It's a job. It's your job in the Army. That's what your military occupational specialty. It's your job. So that's the simplest way. Part of military training seems to be going without enough sleep. And there any MOS that is mandatory to get enough sleep? Are there any MOS that is mandatory to get enough sleep? I mean, the main thing with the whole sleep thing is usually like during basic training, AIT, maybe time frames, maybe not so much as during AIT as it is basic. But once you get to your unit, for the most part, they try to give you enough sleep if they can, because they want you to be effective, right? They don't intentionally be like, well, we're only giving you 2 hours of sleep, and meantime, you're just gonna sweep the hallways and pick up trash and kill some time before you can get a little bit of sleep, kind of thing, just because we feel like we want to. But I mean, there's times on missions where you're just stuck working like crazy and you don't get a whole lot of sleep because of that. But most of the time, they try to, give you plenty enough sleep so you're well rested, that way you can do your job well. So it's just during basic training they usually kind of mess you in that way. Thinking about joining the Army after college. I'll be 25. Would it make more sense to go enlisted to gain experience, or should I go officer since I have a college education? Personal preference, right? I mean, especially like if you want to get your hands on with the MOS or the job you want to do, then you probably want to do enlisted and then maybe later go officer maybe. But officers don't really get like really that in depth with the MOS usually. They're usually more of the behind the scenes, more of the leadership, more of the planning kind of things. So they don't get to get the whole experience. So especially like if you're trying to do MP, you're trying to do infantry, you're trying to do 88 Mike, those kind of things, you know, then it's best to go enlisted first at least to get that experience and then maybe later go officer. So it usually comes down to personal preference as far as how you want to do it. We got a like goal, 100. We're at 62 right now, my friends. So take a look down below. Have you hit that like button? Have you done your part for the Chaos Army and making sure that you hit that like button? If not, do it now. Hit that like button. 100 is the goal. You got my phone vibrating. Notifications. You guys always ask me this stuff like here on the spot, and I usually don't have a good answer on the spot. And I don't really ever like think of it outside of here either. Funniest story from Basic? I don't know. I mean, I can think of little moments here and there, but I don't know if they're like the funniest. Like I remember we had a goldfish in our barracks room because we were the goldfish because I went to Basic at Benning and they were kind of a little upset that Basic was no longer doing just infantry. They were doing other MOSs too, so they didn't feel we deserved a hardcore name. And the first sergeant came in and tried to eat our goldfish. And then he spit it out and gave it to another private that brought it back to us, and we put it back in the fishbowl, and goldfish died. Very sad. So maybe not very funny. But a little bit funny. I don't know. I mean, there's probably moments here and there that are pretty funny, but I don't really know off the top of my head. I thought about doing some like story time videos where maybe I like start telling some stories from like basic training or just in the army or whatever. Maybe I'll start doing some of those, and maybe I'll try to find like some good funny moments from either my military experience or basic training or whatever, and kind of include those. We got a super chat though from Platinum Bars. Thank you, my friend. Was it opinions on Fort Campbell? PCS in there soon. Want to get a general gist of the area. I've never been to Fort Campbell, man. I am sorry. And I'm sure you were hoping for some great advice from an Army veteran to help you feel confident about Fort Campbell. I have never been to Fort Campbell. I'm not even 100% sure if I remember where Fort Campbell is at. Is that Kentucky, right? I don't think I've ever been to Kentucky. So I don't even know like just a general gist of like what Kentucky is like. Sorry about that, man. I appreciate the super chat. I just wish I could have given you a lot better value for your super chat and given you some great insight into Fort Campbell, but I've never been to Kentucky. I've never been to Fort Campbell. I don't even know too many people that have been stationed at Fort Campbell. I mean, I think I had some buddies that were like airborne in Fort Campbell, and they said it was cool. That doesn't tell you a whole lot. No. Sorry about that. Good luck to you. Hopefully, here's the goal. Hopefully, you go to Fort Campbell and it's amazing. And then you show up back in the live stream or in a video and you say, hey man, remember I'm that guy who said he was PCS at Fort Campbell and you didn't know shit about it? It's amazing. I love it here. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. That's what I hope happens though. Sorry I couldn't give you better insight to that. You ever play Xbox, Chris? I got an Xbox One and an upgrade from my Wii. I mean, that's probably a good upgrade from the Wii. I played Xbox. I don't own an Xbox. I've played an Xbox, sure. I don't really have a preference that big of a deal. I mean, PlayStation's just easier because I already have a ton of PlayStation games. If I switch to Xbox, I have to get a ton of Xbox games, and then I don't have that, so stick with PlayStation because I already got a ton of PlayStation games. AD mic is important to be rested before driving missions. It is. You don't always get that luxury though. Like in a combat area, I've had it before where did an all-night mission, came back, was hoping to get some sleep, and then turned out we had a lot of stuff going on, so had to tough it out and keep doing some stuff in the motor pool. And it was exhausted as crap. I've had also times where you had to prepare for the mission, and then you got maybe a few hours to get some sleep, and then you had to head out on a mission. So then you're trying to just struggling through the night, all through the night, off of like 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, whatever, and it sucks. So it is important, and usually like when you're not deployed, they ensure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep, but in a combat area, sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes just so much going on with the missions that you're just kind of stuck having to go off with very little sleep, and it's horrible. It makes it tough. Do you like taking questions? I hate it. I don't even know why I do this, guys. I don't know why I'm here. Really, I'm here because if I don't, you guys are going to hunt me down and torture me. I've gotten so many threats from viewers saying that if I don't answer questions, they will find me. So I have no choice. I have no choice but to answer your questions. That's how it goes. No, I don't mind. It's fun. Tell us about the COVID situation. Well, there's this virus going around. It sucks. Kills some people. Makes other people really sick. Some people don't feel anything. How's that? Does that work? 100 will be accomplished. What are we at now? 72? Man, still a ways to go. Hit that like button down below. Do it right now. I know there's somebody watching this stream, and they're looking down below and they see, I haven't hit the like button, but I don't know if you've convinced me just yet, Chris, that I should hit that like button. Oh. Let's see. Chris, do you think it was time for the U.S. Army to leave Afghan or stay? I would prefer them leaving. I think that maybe there need to be a better plan. I don't know what that better plan would be. Like, I'm not like trying to say that I have a better plan, but what happened probably was not a good plan. But yeah, I think so. I think that Afghanistan can't just rely on the U.S. all the time taking care of them. Otherwise, we might as well make that a United States territory and take over. I don't know, but you know, they have to take care of their own country, and maybe there were things that weren't done properly to allow them to be able to do so, or maybe faults of their own. I don't know all the full details, but yeah, I feel like eventually we needed to get the hell out of there. But how it was executed currently probably wasn't a good way to do so, probably. But I don't have a good answer also as to what would be a better way of to do it. Super chat. Robbie says, "Hey Chris, I DM'd my question on Discord." Okay, well, I can check that out on Discord. If you guys don't know, there is a Discord link down in the description box down below. You can join the Discord. It's free. It's awesome. It's amazing. Thank you for the super chat, Robbie. I will check that out later and try to do my best to reply to you. Thanks for the super chat. Let's see. There you go. One thing I wouldn't like about Campbell is my cousin I hate lives in Charlesville. Can't stand him for personal stuff. Well, that sucks then. Poor cousin. I don't remember if you said the name, but no. Your poor cousin. He's probably his feelings or her feelings are probably hurt. Have you ever been to Fort Leonard Wood, and do you have any pointers for basic? I have been to Fort Leonard Wood for AIT a long ass time ago. It was cold. I didn't see a whole lot. So, and a lot has probably changed since then. So I don't have good advice for Fort Leonard Wood. Pointers for basic. Same thing I tell everybody. Just go into it expecting it to suck worse than anything has ever sucked before, and hopefully it doesn't suck that bad. And you actually have a little bit of fun here and there. But you don't want to go into it thinking it's easy or it won't be that bad or whatever, and then it turns out to be pretty bad, and then it kills your motivation and you struggle. So just expect it to suck really bad. And also, don't think that from your experience in basic training or AIT that's what it's like being in the Army, because it's not. That's not at all what it's like. So do not think that, oh man, I made such a mistake, the Army sucks, I hate this. That's not what it's like being in the Army. Wait until you get to your first unit, spend about a year in your first unit. That'll be a good, at least somewhat experience of what it's like being in the Army, with the exceptions of like leadership here and there, because leadership changes throughout different installations, different places, different units. So that would definitely vary. Michael says he's in JRTC. Well, good luck. Learn a lot of cool stuff. Hey, Chris, if you don't mind me asking, have you ever been in a firefight or been around one? Nothing too crazy. Been around one, not actively like participated in one, I guess. Been in some sketchy situations, been in some other things, but an actual firefight, no, I wouldn't. Not what I would probably consider a firefight. No. Would you have gone to ROTC if you could go? No, because my intention was never to become like an officer or anything else like that. It was just to get the experience, get out and go to college. So, probably not. Evie's going to bed, or probably already bed. Thanks, Evie. Thanks for coming to hang out. Thinking of going the officer route. I always thought a second lieutenant should interact with the enlisted men as much as possible, but I have heard it's the opposite. What is your take? I think it depends on the officer sometimes, especially if you get an officer that used to be enlisted that became an officer later. They're usually pretty hands-on and pretty cool. And then it kind of just depends from there as far as like that person's background. If they never were enlisted and they were just strictly officer, I've still seen a few that will because of their background. But yeah, sometimes they're behind the scenes. They stay away from the things. Also because sometimes officers want to let the NCOs lead, right? So officers don't want to kind of butt into non-commissioned officer business, because sometimes what the soldiers are doing is the business of the non-commissioned officers, and the platoon leader, or the officer is more of a behind-the-scenes kind of person in a lot of cases. So sometimes that's the reason why too, though. Thankfully, I'm a veteran now and can use the proper medication for my, ailments. Puff, puff, don't pass. Hey, if it works, it works, right? Ship out on Tuesday. Best of luck to you at MEPS. Wait, you're saying best of luck to me? I mean, I'm not going to MEPS. You're shipping out Tuesday, or are you saying to someone else? Good luck to you. Spent 72 hours in the back of a M109 howitzer when I was in Germany. The only chance we had for sleep was when we were on the move. Try sleeping on one of those. I would imagine that would suck. I'd imagine that would be a pain in the ass. Probably be loud and uncomfortable. So that would suck. Fort Campbell's in Kentucky, yeah. Thanks, bro. I picked 74 Delta Seaborne Specialist. What do you think of picking? Like, what do I think of that MOS? It really depends. I've heard some positive things and some negative things about that MOS. Most of the people I've talked to, it seems like, but that's not a whole lot though anyways, they were in that MOS. So they didn't like it because they didn't get to do their job a whole lot. Most of the time they got stuck doing other things that weren't really Seaborne related, but I have talked to some people that said they did. Some people said they got to do some pretty awesome, cool stuff as that MOS. So maybe it depends on the leadership, maybe it depends on where you get assigned to, what unit you get assigned to. Some of the people I talked to, they said that they didn't do shit in their MOS and they just got stuck doing a lot of other crazy stuff. So good luck. I hope it ends up being something where you do get to do it and you get to be one of those people, not one of the people that I hear from that say they don't get to do their MOS. So it really just depends sometimes. What did I bring to basic? Socks, underwear, running shoes, shaving kit, hygiene stuff, combination lock, one pair of civilian clothes, something like that. I don't remember all the details of everything. Usually they have some kind of packing list that you should have that your recruiter hopefully gets you. Sometimes the basic training installation has like a website where like you can see what the packing list is off their website. But definitely just ask your recruiter usually, hey, what do I need to bring? I know there's some people that say don't bring anything. That's a bad idea because there's going to be some basic stuff you have to have. You have to have your hygiene stuff. Otherwise, they're going to make you buy it all. And you don't know what the prices are going to be like there. So maybe you get it better price if you get it from home or whatever. And then you're going to have to get certain things that you have to have. So they're either going to make you buy it when you get there or whatever. So sometimes it's best just to show up with it to a certain extent anyways. Hey, I'm starting on the officer training pipeline from an enlisted point of view. What do you like to see new lieutenants do to earn your respect? Just being interested, like not necessarily like trying to act like they know it all. I like it when like you get like a lieutenant that was like, hey, can you show me how that works? I would like to see how that works, especially like from the NCOs. Maybe not necessarily from like the privates, right? But when that second lieutenant or that lieutenant wants to learn some stuff from the NCOs and be like, hey, can you show me how this works? I want to see how that kind of is done. Then that's always cool. You know, ones that are eager to learn. I always hated the ones that think they know it all, even though they don't, and then they screw it up because they don't know it all. So I always hated that. So be eager to learn. I mean, be confident. If there's things that you do know how to do, yeah, be confident with that. But things that you don't try to just assume that because you're an officer that you should not play dumb or you should be smarter than that or whatever. Be eager to learn and be open to learning. Went to basic at Fort Lost in the Woods a million years ago. That's a long time ago then. It's pretty crazy considering Fort Leonard Wood probably didn't exist a million years ago. No, I'm just kidding. What do we got? We're 81 likes. What do we got for time? We're at an hour right now. So, like goal, 100. We're at 81. Are we going to make it? I don't know. I'm going to be probably only skimming through a few more questions because we're getting close to ending the stream. I usually try to keep it around an hour. Usually it ends up being an hour and a half or somewhere between an hour and a half. So we're going to be ending it here pretty soon. So make sure that you get in that like. If I do not get to your question, to hit me up on Instagram or even hit me up on the Discord channel. Right? There's a Discord channel, Instagram, all that stuff is down in the description box down below for links to that stuff. So hit me up and I'll do my best to answer your questions if I cannot answer them here in the live stream. Is it worth it to re-enlist to get transferred to an assignment you want? I think so. It also depends, like if you're interested in the Army, like if you hate the Army, changing duty stations may or may not fix that, right? You may still hate the Army even when you change to a duty assignment that you like better because you still get stuck with crappy leadership or maybe the MWS isn't what you want it to be, kind of a thing. So if you like the Army, then yeah. I mean, I would definitely recommend trying to re-enlist for a place that maybe you would enjoy more, closer to home, closer to family, maybe just in general a place that you think would be fun to be in. So yeah, I think so. Does almost everyone get to use a saw? Not necessarily. I mean, probably everybody will get some experience with it, but not necessarily everybody gets to use it. But I mean, you usually will do that in basic training at your units, and you'll get some kind of training with it. It's pretty common. Let me see. I see Robbie asking if I can read his question. Did I already read your question? Where was your question at? Was it previously? I don't notice it. Don't know, man. Try to accommodate the best that I can. Sometimes I miss the questions. There's a lot of questions. So many questions. It's a little time. Shaving razor recommendations. Spend good money on Harry's razors. If you buy direct from them, it's cheaper than Walmart in the long run. Or Dollar Shave Club. Link in the... No, I don't have a link in the description. Young officers should try to get the back of the enlisted they are leading. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Have their back. I mean, that's still good advice too, but I recommend, just trying to learn all they can. Not trying to act like you know everything. What do I think of the 35 series, specifically 35 Fox Intel Analyst? It's great. You guys, I know a lot of people want more insight on it, but I don't really have a whole lot of insight on certain MOSs, so that's one of those MOSs I don't have a whole lot of insight on, so I really couldn't give you a very good explanation. Gotta run. All right, Jay the Vorn, thanks for coming to hang out. Tips for 18 X-ray candidate: make sure you're in amazing shape, make sure you are really good at land nav, and you stay motivated because they will try to get you to quit on your own. And if you do not have the strength to push through it, then you might end up quitting. So it's very tough. Tough for a reason. Let's see, a couple more questions, and then maybe I'll go backwards in the live chat to see which ones I missed, and then we'll try to end the stream here pretty soon, probably. There's no such thing as a saw. As a saw when I was in the army, all we had is M60s. I mean, it's what it's called. How does ordering pizza while on base work? How would the pizza delivery person get on base? A lot of times, like on Fort Carson, they have a Domino's on post, so that's the Domino's that delivers to the barracks. Outside of that, usually they just have to go through the commercial gate, and it kind of makes it a little bit of a challenge. If it's too hard for them, then they may not deliver on post. But depending on your installation, a lot of times they have those places on post, and it's just easier for you to order it from that location. So like I said, Fort Carson has Domino's on post, so if you want to order pizza on Fort Carson, you order it from that Domino's on Fort Carson, so that way you can not have to wait as long for that pizza to try to get delivered from something off post. But usually they make it happen somehow. What are some good ways to rank up easier? I have a video on that talks about like ranking up fast and how you can do that. You know, doing different things like trying to, you know, be motivated and volunteer for things all the time. So that way, hopefully they'll put you in for waivers and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's a lot of things you can possibly do. And I think I explained quite a few in that video. So look for the video that says like how to rank up as fast as can or something, or how to rank up as fast as possible or something. You'll be a Blue Falcon. That can be helpful. Come on, guys. We're about 11 likes away. If there's 11 of you watching this live stream and you have not liked the stream, hit that like. What? Let me see. Is it? Let me highlight this one. I don't think it lets me highlight that one. It's weird. I don't know why the cuts it off. There was someone asking, is it like a hidden one? I don't know why it doesn't let me actually highlight this one. Do drill sergeants, do drill instructors kiss you goodnight? They do. Yeah, if you're really nice to them, you ask for one, ask them to tuck you in, ask them to read you a story, they will. So you just got to make sure that you ask them very nicely, and they might. Does height matter in the Army? It depends on the MOS, but yeah, I mean, there is still a minimum and a maximum, and then for certain MOSs, there's a maximum, because like tankers, they don't want you to be too tall because you can't fit in a tank. So yeah, it can matter. Was it delivery drivers need to have a DoD ID card or a valid pass? Lots of times you'll find active duty moonlighting as delivery drivers. That happens sometimes too. Or they just have to go to the commercial gate and wait through the little process, but that kind of screws things up and then causes delays. So yeah, it just depends. All right, I'm gonna come backwards in the chat. Let me see if I can find some good ones that I missed, and then maybe we'll close out the stream here pretty soon. Only a couple more likes to that 100 like goal. So hit that like button. We're only a couple away, maybe only about 10 minutes left in the stream. So let's accomplish that goal, my friends. Let's crush it. I know reclassing is difficult, but how does that work for something like 31 Delta, since it requires time and service requirements? Couldn't tell you. I mean, it's not going to be until the end of your contract anyways that you're going to have the opportunity to possibly reclass, and then it still depends on your qualifications, like I talked about in that video. So I don't really think it's going to make much of a difference as to your MOS. It's going to make a difference as far as the MOS you're trying to go to. Sometimes the MOS you're in, because if that MOS is already under strength, they're not going to want to let you go. So they're going to be like, no, we're not going to let you reclass because we need people in this MOS, and we're not going to let you leave from it. So that can be a factor. We would have to talk to a retention NCO, though, to find out your chances, though. But sometimes they don't even know either. We were told to bring the clothes on our backs and up to $100 in cash, nothing else. And that varies. A lot of times they want you to bring hygiene gears because you have to shave. You have to brush your teeth. You have to do all that stuff that they want you to do. And if you don't have any of that stuff, then now they have to wait for you to go get it from the little shop that they have there. So it's going to vary. It's always best to check with your recruiter to find out all that kind of information as far as what locations want you to bring stuff. But usually hygiene gear is usually a very key one. They usually want you to bring in a minimum. see. Sorry, this is a random. But do you know if you are shot, can you keep your plate with the hole? Maybe. I've known people that got shot in their helmet and they got to keep their helmet. So maybe it just depends on the unit. Possibly. Yeah. Hey, how dangerous is 88 Mike? It depends. Like, definitely during Iraq and Afghanistan time frame, it was pretty dangerous because, I mean, really any MOS that was on the roads a lot was a pretty dangerous one. 88 Mikes were on the road a lot. You have your engineers are out on the road a lot. A lot of other individuals, they're on the road a lot, so you had the risk of IEDs, which was a big part of the attacks that were going on. Usually it was IEDs and VBIDs and all those kind of types of roadside bombs. And so any of those MOSs usually were pretty dangerous during those kind of conflicts. All right, let's see. 102 likes. You guys rock. I appreciate you. I don't care what John Franco says about you guys. You guys are amazing. Let's see. A couple more questions are going to be in the stream here. It's hard to gain weight. I mean, it can be sometimes. Oh, you're a little one. What are you doing? Hey, little baby. Okay, you gonna give me a kiss and a hug tonight? Are you sleepy? Have a kiss?
Yeah.
Love you.
I just slept on Mama.
You slept on mommy? You fell asleep? Okay. Good night.
I just...
Okay, she fell asleep on you.
Dad.
Good night. No. Okay. Good night. I'm in the stream pretty soon though. It's a little baby. What is 88 Mike Hood? Motor transportation operator. Any tips for taking the ASVAB? I take it on Thursday. Study. I have an app that I recently did a video on that kind of showed you like what it was capable of doing. Maybe try that app. Maybe try other sort of resources. It really depends on you. I mean, it's a free app, so you can always give that a shot. I mean, if you're taking a Thursday, I mean, you can do a little bit of last minute kind of studying to see how you do. But there's a recent video I did on my channel that shows off an app that you can use to study for, and maybe just try that. What if I get a misdemeanor after I go to MEPS? Well, getting in any kind of trouble a lot of times can screw up your possibilities, may delay it. Especially if you get, those kind of things, then you're probably gonna have to go to courts that now has to delay it, and they may just cancel it all together and be like, no, try again later. And now you have to go through the whole process again. So it really just depends, but it can definitely delay the process, possibly even cancel it out until a later time frame where you have to try again. Yes, yeah. And depending on sometimes what the charges were for, could eliminate you from joining the military. So yeah, it can definitely mess things up. Let's see, one more probably good question and we'll be in the live stream. We'll see if this time it doesn't crash out on me during the outro music. Last live stream, for whatever weird reason, the software that I use called OBS crashed out during the little outro scene. It was a good thing at least it crashed like when we were already done and not like during the middle of it. So at least that's good, but still, it crashed out during the little outro music, so nobody could rock out. So, trying to look for a really good question. We need one last really good question to end the live stream on. What have we got, guys? I'm all out of tea too. So that's what I had going on here. And the Chaos Cup was some sweet tea. It's all gone. So now we got to end the live stream. Plus, we've already made it to the light goal. So, I mean, that's good. This isn't how I want to end the live stream, but in your opinion, what other wars may take place in the future? I mean, probably Middle East stuff. I don't see us. I mean, there's a possibility we could do stuff with China, maybe North Korea, but I feel like those are pretty large countries that it would probably be resolved in a peaceful manner before we got to that point. But I could see things like with other Middle Eastern countries, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what's gonna be a good one to end on. What's happening? Was it V silhouettes? All right, we're going to end the stream on these last two questions right here. Go with here. First one. Hey, Chris, do airborne units work with Bradleys or Strykers? It depends. Usually people who work with Bradleys are your 19 Deltas, your scouts. I think they have airborne units that have Bradleys probably, so they probably have that. Strykers could be scouts too, but they also could be 11 Bravos, so it really depends on the type of unit you're in, if you're in a Stryker unit or in a Cav unit. So usually your Cav units, if you're in the Cav, then you have Bradleys. If you're in a Stryker brigade, then you have Strykers. So it depends on the unit usually. And then, why should I go Army over other branches? I mean, I'm not saying that Army is for everyone. I mean, you have to do your research to kind of see which one's going to best accomplish your goals, but often the Army might be better because you get to pick your job, right? You, in the other branches, through some ways you might get to pick the branch, so that might mean that you get to pick that you want to be in the medical field, or you get to pick that you want to be in the automotive, like mechanical field, but not the exact job. So when you got to pick that you're in the mechanical field, they may assign you to tanks, they may assign you to trucks, they may assign you to generators or whatever based on what they need you in, and so you didn't get to pick that. Where the Army, they will let you pick the exact job as long as you qualify for it and there's openings for that MOS. So if you want to be exactly a 68 Whiskey to be a medic that does like that kind of nursing, kind of first responder type of stuff, then you, if that's available and you qualify for it, then boom, you get that MOS, and that's exactly what you do. It's not a surprise you pick medical, but we're going to stick you as a dental assistant, and that's not what you wanted to do. So usually that's a lot of times why people might lean more towards the Army, but it really comes down to your personal goals, what you want. Talk to recruiters on whatever branch you're interested in, compare what they can offer you, and then go with whichever one you feel offers you the best success in your future. All right. So, all right, guys, we are going to end this live stream. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. This is my live stream that I do on Sundays. So if you want to catch the next one, I'll be back next Sunday, I think. Should be. Believe so. Yeah, I should be able to. I don't think there's anything going on next. Well, yes, next Sunday will. Probably the Sunday after that one, I probably won't have one because I have stuff going on. I think that was Sunday. So, nonetheless, though, Sunday evenings around this time is when we do so. If you had a question that I missed, that you didn't get a chance to ask, whatever, hit me up on Instagram. Link down in the description box down below. There's also the Discord channel. All of that down there. Check out those links. The website. Lots of great resources. All sorts of awesome stuff for you guys to check out if you want more information. We'll work on some videos. We'll have some videos hopefully during the week and everything. And hopefully you enjoy that kind of stuff. You guys are awesome. Thanks for helping me reach our like goal of 100 and getting past it and all that kind of fun stuff. Hopefully you guys have a great evening and a great week, and I will see you the next time. See ya.